as you can see, we're already in game number 2. Again, it seems like we've been having a bit of this lately. I mean, teams, not that I'm complaining. Like I said, I mean, this is cool to see, but teams just jumping into the next game, man. They are just ready to go. No waiting in between. And it is definitely good to see. So here we are, game number 2. Obviously already moving along here, and things are looking pretty similar, if I say so myself. A little bit of deja vu coming out here. So far, everything is the same. The bans were the same. It was both Scout and Wretched Hag banned by Stay Green. Ophelia Warbeast banned by dnL. We have the picks. It's Keeper, NG, Flux for Stay Green. For dnL, it's Tempest Bubble so far. If they finish with a Ravener here, it will be exactly the same thing once again. So the fact that it's already the same this far in is pretty damn crazy. But, you know, it does worry me a little bit more for dnL Esports, of course. Because, again, clearly last game, unless they're just very confident. Okay, so that makes more sense. They are going to go the Sand Wraith route this time. So they instead go for their carry to get him out of the way. Again, they didn't really have a carry last game. They were playing the aggressive dueling Ravener. They had the short lane bubbles. They weren't really focusing around getting a farmed carry. They were focused around winning an early game and winning the game that way. This time, maybe a little bit different. Maybe not a little bit different. I mean, they could still go for that early game aggressive strategy, of course. Samwraith can definitely very well assist with that with his ultimate, but at least there is that fallback. They do have a Sandwraith. We'll find ourselves saying to this game, if dnL gets up to a slower start, well, at least they have a Sandwraith factor. He can definitely recover, and he can eventually take over and carry the game. So they do have that fallback here in this game, unlike the first game, really, when it comes down to it. But now Stay Green, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. Will they go for a carry themselves, still maybe even something like that Corrupted Disciple, or will they go for more of an aggressive play style here? And, you know, I'm eyeing something like that Zephyr possibly, with even that Demented Shaman maybe, something like the Zephyr Demented Shaman to finish off here, so get some good team push coming, some great team fight presence. We'll see. Stay Green is known for doing stuff like that, but also Soul Reaper, but of course he is banned out. Now, speaking of the bans, Empath banned out first by Stay Green, so they don't want to let him get his comfortable support hero here. They got Empath, Soul Reaper, Ravener, Lodestone, Pestilence, and Slither coming out here with the ban. So yeah, Slither is definitely a good ban to come out, because that could have definitely went very well, in fact, for Stay Green's lineup on top of that, and especially for a short lane option. So, going to take that away, though, as a possibility. But Corrupted Disciple is still on the board, and again, they made it work last game with Corrupted and then eventually Rally. But we'll see again. If they change it up here, knowing that this time they're going up against that hard carry Sandwraith, which last time they were able to ban because it wasn't picked up in the first 3 picks. So, Stay Green going to think about it a little bit right here, and as they should. Again, I do the bug, unfortunately, so I can't see the exact timer. But, okay, they are still going to go the Corrupted route. They say, you know what, it worked last game, don't fix what ain't broken. Don't broke what ain't fixed. Don't fix what ain't broken is what it comes down to for Swinnamelons and Stay Green over here. So, everything's the same for them so far. If they finish well with the Rally, of course, it would be the same 5 heroes. But again, hey, it worked last game. It's a lineup that they definitely have ran before, so why not? So now dnL Esports, though, they already switched up at least a little bit here. How will they continue to switch things up? They need another support and another mid presence. They are going to go Master of Arms here with their support option. And so now is that going to be to babysit the Sandwraith? Will they get maybe more of a solo here? Even another suicide option, perhaps, to go with the bubble, something like a Pharaoh, possibly. Wouldn't be out of the question, but again, we'll see. Or the Rally, even if that is left open by Stay Green. Is Kraken still on the board? Actually, Kraken is. Where is he? Kraken is on the board, right? Yeah, Kraken's still on the board. Interesting. Hell, I could see Stay Green definitely picking that up. I mean, well, the thing is, the Limp is usually the Kraken player, and he's also usually their Flux player. So I wonder if that may be the big thing that's holding them back from actually going a Kraken pickup here on Stay Green. And I know they could definitely still do that. I'm sure Swinamons could definitely play the Flux in the end, or even vice versa. But, you know, maybe they just will go back to something like a Rally instead, knowing that Swindle is maybe a little more comfortable in that at least. But or he is known for playing the Pharaoh way back in the day. That could be an option, too, if they just want to go back to the Jungle Keeper. But, yeah, that's going to the fact. Okay, they are going to go with the Rally, so how about that? Deja vu all over the place here, coming out from Stay Green. So they do go the exact same lineup in the end, and Now right away, wait a second, hold on. Something's the same here, guys. Something's the same. Tundra coming out. Now, you know, I was eyeing that a little bit, but I honestly did not. I can't say I would have called it in the end. I mean, I was definitely thinking something like more like the Kraken. I mean, seeing Kraken on the board there as a possible option wouldn't have been a bad one at that, but is not going to be picked up. Was Pestilence banned, by the way? Pestilence was banned, yeah, by Stake. I was going to say Pestilence actually would have made sense here too, but they go the Tundra. Now it's played by Pro Busk here. So, okay, so they're probably going to have Master of Arms babysit Flensmeister on the Sand Wraith and have both Tundra and Bubbles as those solo roles, of course. And I would assume it's going to be Tundra mid with Bubbles in that suicide option. So we'll see if that's actually how the lane's set up or not, but we'll have to wait and see for the laning stage to get developed here. But again, here we are already in game number 2. Jumping into it. Keeper the Forest right off the bat heading towards the bottom lane. Is it going to be a Jungle Keeper? Did we pick up on that? It's well, yeah, it's the same lineup, so what am I saying? Of course it's going to be a Jungle Keeper. It's the exact same lineup. Why would they do something different? They are sending Rally to some Engineer also coming in up here, so actually this is a little different coming out from Stay Green. They also got the Tree Dog to scout things here. Or the Cacti Tree. Cactus Tree, even. Whatever it is. Scouting things out as well. I don't think they're going to be doing an aggressive dual lane by any means. Granted, they are pretty confident. I'm sure it's going to be a Sandwraith Master of Arms up here. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess it's not out of the question if they want to really lock down the Sandwraith to do an aggressive dual lane. They are going up against a Tempest jungler, again, not known as the most aggressive compared to the likes of Ophelia or Parasite, say, but are they? Engineer is up here. Rally is kind of roaming around. Engie was hiding initially, too. He is still hiding, so yeah. At least they're going to maybe try to get a Bloodlust kill out of this. Perhaps try to catch the Master of Arms even off guard here. As they, you know, that's probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to try to bait Master of Arms on a Rally, trying to box him out, and then all of a sudden the Engineer is going to come out of nowhere and look to collapse, so. It is going to be a Tundra versus a Flux mid to start. Look at Flux. 3 Crushing Claws. Gets 3 freaking Crushing Claws. Blah, blah, blah. Crushing Claws already has 777 life at level 1 compared to the 625 for Tundra. Not bad for Tundra either. Tundra's actually pretty bulky hero himself off the bat, but obviously even still a slight advantage there for Flux coming up. But yeah, Engineer playing very sneaky. He's just been sitting in this hole right here on his side, waiting for the right opportunity to pop up. So support a Master of Farms, not pushing up too yet, and I kind of wonder if that has a little bit to do that they realize Engie's not showing himself yet, so maybe they figure a little bit that he could possibly be up here. He might show himself now. Oh, I don't know if he poked out or not. But yeah, Master of Arms not playing aggressive whatsoever, so that leads me to believe that they have either the great insight or they did maybe just see him. And again, I'm sure that's what Stay Grid is hoping on, but Denali Esports playing a little too smart right here. Now, they're going to start pushing up, but you can even tell Master of Arms still playing very passive. They know Engie's missing. They do not want to risk going up too far. So Rally's actually going to get some free farm here in the meantime. So even though Engie hasn't even really shown himself, he's still doing enough to have an impact at this top lane so far. When it comes down to it, it's kind of funny seeing the supports literally like right next to each other, but we're basically hugging. Okay, runs right into him, he runs right by him, and now they're like, okay, here's Engineer, found him, Master. The charge shot going to be coming out actually. Misses the Fork Lightning though, as the Compel was used right there, so Engineer is going to be fine, but now they know it is an aggressive dual lane coming out here at the top side, so maybe Tundra could play a little more aggressive himself. Now, I don't know if he has been or not, but this middle lane so far, 9-1 Flux versus a 10-2 Tundra now, so yeah, Probuska and Tundra is able to do a pretty good job here at the middle lane. In fact, Engineer, okay, he's just going for the 2-minute rune right there. The bottom rune is a haste rune, and actually Bubbles is going to end up picking it up. Corrupted Disciple, though, I'm sure he's doing decent. 8-5 against a 2-1 Bubbles. Yeah, he is having a good time down there at the bottom side. But top lane, Rally is also having a great time. And again, that's really a lot of that thanks to his brother there in Z-Freak playing the Engineers. His presence was more than enough to really cause him to play passive. And Rally was able to get some nice creep farm, and he's still getting some pretty nice creep farm here. at the top lane. So this Sand start it's solid as well. 12-0 career start here, but again, he's definitely missed a couple as a result of the situation. You do see, look what Tundra's doing, by the way, with the Shiver. He's actually blocking the yellow camp from stacking here, so making life a little more difficult on Keeper of the Forest. That's definitely another extra benefit of picking up a hero like Tundra, although we don't see him often. We have seen him pop up a couple times recently. He has been one that has kind of been making an appearance here and there on the competitive scene once again, going into the DreamHack event. So, as they talk about always, wondering if that might be some foresight into the DreamHack Winter 2013 event or not. But obviously, it goes back to, this hero, he's been God-tier status for the longest time on the competitive scene. He never really got too much that changed. Yes, his cold shoulder was changed, and it definitely was a little bit of a hit, but other than that, he's still, he's the power of the hero is still there. He still has the great Shiver scouting tool in the right hands, which at the top tier level pretty much always is. It's one of the most powerful abilities in the game, you can argue, when it comes down to it. So he definitely has a strong presence, and just being an awesome ganker with his ultimate, with his piercing charge, some good burst damage assist, and some great teamfight presence. So again, picked up here by dnL Esports. They're hoping that he's going to have a big impact because obviously they need to win here to stay alive in the Losers Bracket Finals. The winner of this series will move on to face Lion Esports Club in the Grand Finals, of course. So just keeping that in mind here. Grew up the Disciple, farming out the bottom lane. He does have boots and a Pretender's crown currently. Stuttering with the words here today. Tundra back at base. Bubbles actually falling back too, kind of doing a little bit of rotating. He's only level 3 though. He does have boots himself, but again, clearly getting outmatched by this by Chessie here on Corrupted Disciple at the bottom lane. So action has been pretty little here early on between these two teams. So not a whole lot of aggressive play coming out from either side as we are approaching the 5-minute mark now. We're in game number 2. Obviously a 1-0 lead for Stay Green once again. Rally's still doing great up here, man. But again, Samwraith is at least keeping on par with him with the creep farm, but the fact that Rally's doing so well is great. Now, it is actually a 2v2 lane, so keeping that in mind. But it seems like the lane positioning has constantly also been in their favor quite a bit. They do have the pole cam still blocked. But here comes Tempest now. Tempest is level 7. They could really use something happening here. Slapped. Gets a big ultimate off, but the lane again is just not really pushing up enough. Tundra in the meantime in the middle lane, taking a lot of pressure right here. Can Probus get away? It looks like he can. The bottle charge is enough right there. And he does survive. So Slapped wants the opportunity. He's trying to get in here for the ultimate, but it's just not going to happen. Instead, he'll have to fall back. Meanwhile, though, Keeper of the Force charging in for a root. It's not going to happen, though. Tundra finds him first, and Keeper of the Force gets picked off. It looks like the Avalanche was used, kind of caught that halfway through, so just after the Avalanche was used, but it was used. And obviously locking down Keeper to the point of death. So Bloodlust kill coming out for Probusk right there. You see it's dark right now. I think they might have had a ward of sight in this area, though, which did see Keeper of the Force coming over, and it just happened to despawn. So talk about some good timing right there. And Keeper getting picked off, so his start getting slowed a little bit, but also Tundra definitely making use of that. So his ultimate is down, of course, but he's got some good farm now. 340 gold per minute or so, tops in the game. And he also is level 7 on top of that, definitely tops in the game as well. Tempest, excuse me, is also continuing to do very well. Not able to be of assistance at the top lane for a gank, but he is still farming away in the jungle. He is level 7 currently. Going to be picking up his boots next, most likely. But he's got that Ring of Sorcery on top of the Ring of Teacher. Flux here in the middle lane, continuing to pressure Probusk quite a bit. Limp, I'm sure, is doing well here, despite Tundra getting a Bloodlust kill. He's doing very well. 37 and 11, so definitely out creep farming Tundra. So the bottom lane is really the only lane that's definitely being kind of one-sided. Corrupted Disciple is just dominating Bubbles down here. Again, not really too surprising, but still, it is the only lane that is being really dominant now. Probusk gets in trouble once again. Here they go. They're going to try a second time. This time they bring more numbers. Nice Avalanche initially to try to stay alive, but it's not going to be nearly enough. He cold shoulders away. He tries to make the escape, but Probusk just took too much damage there. Too much lockdown, and he gets killed. So good roam coming out from Stay Green. They take advantage of the lack of vision right now on the map. I mean, you do look at the minimap right now. There is 0 ward of sights up for the Hellborn team. And, you know, it's one thing for them to wear off and then immediately after not have ward of sights, but it's been a couple minutes now, and there's still no ward of sights being delivered either. So, dnL Esports could definitely use that vision, though. Again, coming to the play right there, the lack of it at least. And now it also results in an easy middle tower push, and Stay Green's just going to keep this going. You do see a TP coming in. Oh, that could have been a bad timing. Yeah, it ends up getting canceled because if he went in, that very likely would have took the Keck stun. So he has to cancel it, whoever that was. I believe it was Tundra. He is running it now. You do see Master Von TPing in. He's level 5, going to lay down that goo, try to counter push a little right here. And I think Stay Green is ultimately going to be fought off, but they apply a lot of good pressure. Now the top tower, however, Sandwraith and Tempest pushing it in. And they're going to get a counter tower kill. So that's actually pretty damn good for dnL. Managing to have enough resources to be able to do that before Stay Green can do anything about stopping it there. So Stay Green, a little bit of a miscue on their part. Cannot protect the top tower, but they're going to go for bottom. There's the shell step away there from Bubbles. Beautiful take cover. And he's able to get away as well. So Keeper, they are going to be torn by Flux and Energy. They will push this bottom lane now, but at least Bubbles stays alive to help counter push the best he can. The shell serve spam going to be coming out, I'm sure. You can see the Goose laid down once again. Energizer finish on Sandwraith. So he does have that ultimate, of course. Tundra does have a TP ready to go. And so does Tempest. They could hold here. No, they're not. I don't think they had invulnerability at that point, so if they had invulnerability, very likely, but they just did not want to risk it right there. And they decided to fall back. And I think they really could have took that. I mean, Root was down. Rally was at the top lane. Unless he just ported there. I don't think he did. I think he was at the top lane the whole time. No, yeah, because Stevie's off cooldown. Yeah, he could have ported in, but he would have had to walk all the way up there. So I think dnL Esports definitely could have fought that, actually. I mean, they just got the Energizer on Sandwraith. They had the Avalanche ready to go. They had a Tempest ultimate. Keeper was down, like I said. You know, not many better chances you're going to get earlier on than something like that. But again, they choose to not defend it, and the tower is easily pushed in by Stay Green. So they continue to have the slight gold lead here, at least, of about 2,000. Experience not so much. Sandwraith at the top lane, playing a little carefully here. You see Flux is trying to maybe going for a flank attempt, but not going to be happening here. Corrupted Disciple, he does finish his own Energizer here. Overall GPM charts are kind of back and forth between the two teams. It is slightly in favor of Stay Green. In fact, overall, definitely more so for their heroes. Master of Arms, actually, kind of scouting things out with an Invis rune here. Seeing if he can, maybe pick up the Courier? No, not going to happen there. He is going to maybe sit on top of Enchi, though, finding Flux over here. Alrighty then. You got it, Tundra. He wants to let us know what's up. We got it. You're summoning your pets. Cool. Coriol over here. He's just using the Shiver to scout things out. So obviously, again, the power of Tundra coming into play. Oh, Shiver's actually spotted right there by the tower, but not going to be destroyed, though. But they're just going to push mid once again. Stay Green, it looks like. So, kind of an interesting choice, actually. They still have the top first tower to be taken out, but they want to go cutthroat mid. Now, the tower is below half life here, so maybe a reason to that. But this could definitely be a fight once again for the Hellborn team. Granted, this time you do have Keeper Root up now. And all 5, well, they're not here just yet. Rally is making his way over, though. He does have a portal key now. So Rally's definitely working off some good farming. Uh-oh, they're collapsing on a Tempest. Tempest needs to be really careful. Okay, he's going to go the good direction. He does have 1,800 gold saved up, by the way. It's looking like Slapped might possibly be going for the straight portal key game here. We'll see if that is the case or not. So, unlike last game, going to possibly be valuing the portal key. I mean, I just assume. I mean, he already has enough for.
Of the land, hark my call.
This guy is loud. He already has enough for a straight up Astrolabe, and he could also upgrade the boots and whatnot, of course. So, I believe he's just going straight for a portal key here. Uh-oh, they might be in trouble still, though. Engineer running in. Now, they kind of stuttered right there. I wonder if they saw and realized something's up. They're just going to jet on out of there, actually. He activates the Energizer. He is on the run. Keep it the force. Engineer chasing. Can't get close enough, though. The team support was not ready. And they are not able to make the jump happen, so dnL Esports, specifically Flensmeister there on Sandwraith. He is able to escape before death. So a lot of moving coming out from Stay Green. They're not getting a whole lot, though. I mean, the middle tower is still up. The secondary one, at least. They've been roaming around a little bit here to try to get some kills, but the more time they do this, I mean, the more time dnL Esports is going to push out the other lane, specifically this bottom lane here. And Bubbles now putting pressure on the tower, so the TP is going to come in though. And I think Stigrin has had enough from chasing. They're going to go back to farming themselves. As Corrupt Disciple down here, but no, Samurath, he's going to look to port in. Where will he go? He is going to go on to Engineer. He turns around, goes right for Keeper the Force, though. Do they have any kind of vision? They do not, but they do see him right here. Meteor's going to be laid down. There's the piercing shards, and Keeper the Force will be picked up in the background into Z-Freak in trouble as well. You do have Flux nearby, maybe can pull him. There's the discharge. He pulls him into the energy field, but it doesn't matter. Bubbles will be fine. But he does save Engineer at least, so they do get the pick on the Keeper of the Force, but good teamwork right there to get Engineer to safety. So 2-1 hero kill lead in the Hellborn's favor. You do see Probusk, he's going to be going for a puzzle box, it looks like. Has that bolstering armband with the Neophyte's book, so puzzle block's going to be coming out. He went the Striders first, so getting that movement boot, just being able to roam around the map and be that ganker that he can be. I'm going to try my best not to be on him when he summons those beasts, damn it. But, yeah, as always, the puzzle box minions, very useful. Keeper the Force, an ideal candidate to have those against, but just in general, a solid item to have. And Probusk definitely seems like a player. He's more than up to the challenge of being able to use those puzzle box minions effectively. But now here goes Stigrin. I was going to say, they haven't really touched the top tower yet despite all this moving, but now they're going to go for it. And now they're going to start applying that pressure. So we'll see if dnL Esports maybe looks to defend it. Unfortunately, Mirage is not up just yet, so probably not. In fact, they may just go for the counter push middle, it looks like here. Top tower falls, but they do get a counter push middle this dnL Esports. Are both teams going to keep going is the question. Looks like State Green is, and so is dnL. They're still going. Oh, they actually catch off the side. Master of Arms. The ward is sight right here, and that's kind of a misplay from support. I mean, they're pushing up. He's countering a ward of sight here. Obviously, he knows they can see him. And yeah, with portal keys on this Legion side and whatnot, well, specifically Rally at least, he took a big risk right there for honestly very little reward at that point. So he gets picked off. They cannot push the secondary middle tower just yet at least, but they need to get back and defend their base. Okay, they're going to try for it. They do get it. Oh, he missed the last hit. There we go. Finally, even a couple more seconds, but here we go. 2,400 gold on Sandwraith, by the way. They're going to look to go into this fight right here. Sandwraith, he does have Mirage, obviously. He'll use it only when he needs to, though. Instead, he's going to still sit over here. Not exactly sure where he's going to go just yet. He's coming back mid, kind of, but no. We're still falling back. Master of Arms does have, or is up, obviously, by now, but Stay Green, they're still looking for that opportunity. They're right on top of Ward of Sight currently, though. And are just going to fall back as a team. So the Shiver is scouting all this, at least, in Sandwraith. Probably, yeah. He's going to go for the TP right here. So Sandwraith does have nearly 2,500 gold saved up now. We'll see. Get an idea maybe where he's going next with this item build. So Zlapt actually does not go for a portal key. He actually ends up upgrading his boots and then buying a Mighty Blade on top of that with the Mystic Investment. So he was just pulling up a lot of gold to eventually get different pieces. Maybe that was a case of, again, he just wasn't really sure himself and wanted to kind of judge it with the game. So it decides to go more the build-up route in the end, though. But yet again, Stay Green grouping up, and they're looking to make some pushes here. They're going to try, I think this is like the third time here at the secondary middle tower now, so. But okay, they're already starting to fall back up to the Disciple. He's got a Mighty Blade. The Stricken Head is still a little bit of ways. Puzzle box level 1 has been finished on Tundra. Oh, there's a jump rally. He gets Bubbles. No take cover used off the mat. There's the polar right there. Sandwraith is going to port in, but the energy field doing a lot of work in the meantime. Corrupt Disciple lockdown. Tempest runs in. Oh, the Tempest all it won't catch. The root was already used. A beautiful lockdown right there. Flux in trouble in the background. Jesse able to get away for now. Will it be for long though? Sandwraith is chasing. There's the compel away, but Jesse, he's just a little more damage and dispersions to encounter. He is going to fall. Rally ports out, but Keeper of the Forest also gets picked off. A near genocide for dnL Esports. Mickey, the one that died there on the Hellborn team, and Bubbles, he actually popped back and made some work happen as well. Obviously, Tempest dead, but he got a huge Elemental Void off. before he did. Sam Wraith, I was going to say, with the way he's saving up, it looks like he's going for that Mocker Brilliance. A little bit of greedy there. But with a fight like that happening and now him very close to the Mocker Brilliance, it could very likely pay off. He's also a level 11, so Sword of the High just purchased on him. So he just needs a pattern now, of course, to have that completed. But definitely big fight coming out right there. Obviously, that did start with that Flux Energy combo. I believe really Bubbles was the only one that was ultimately affected by it, though. The others were just a little bit too far away to get caught within the energy field. And obviously they were able to work off that. They pushed the bottom lane. Sam right though, oh, he's dropping quickly. He's in a lot of trouble right here, and he will fall. So he stayed around a little too long. He really wanted that tower kill, which he got, but obviously it does come at a cost. Bubbles is able to TP back to base before he gets caught. So, you know, probably, it's hard to say. I mean, probably not worth it, though. If it's any other hero other than their carry who's working towards that Mach, maybe, but, you know, slowing him down a little bit, they definitely need that Mach ASAP at this rate, so. Hurts a little bit, but still denial. Ultimately, I'm sure overall feeling pretty good after how that fight went right there. Also, they locked down Corrupt Disciple pretty strong right there. Of course, the Avalanche coming out. The main part of that, it's up to 4 seconds at level 3, yeah. So it's 3.5 seconds now, up to 4 seconds at level 3. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure chat will correct me on this. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it is the stun is superior magic, or is it? Is it? Actually, you know what? I'm not so certain anymore. I believe it is, but maybe not. Yes. It's been, see, that's the crazy thing with Thunder. It's been so long since we've seen him, so I'm just trying to think back to when he was used all the time. Was he able to stop Tempest with the shrunken head? It's basically, that's the easiest way to think about it. And I believe he was, if I'm not mistaken. But, again, I'm sure chat will correct me on that if I am wrong. Just want to make sure that I am saying the right thing now. That's why I'm a little uncertain. But anyways, the point being that even with the shrunken head on the likes of something like the Corrupted Disciple, he still will be able to lock him down if that is the case from being mobile in these team fights. But did you see Stakerine right here? They actually addressed the Hellborn Ancients. They actually dropped them and get some more farm for themselves. Stakerine is doing a lot of sticking together. I know that's not really a big surprise, let's be honest, but it's this game, they are really sticking together, man. There's very little individual time here in this game for Stakerine, even more so than usual. They got the train moving, man. The Courier's going to be picked off right here, so against using the scouting, though. You see the Shiver off to the side. Actually, he's going to be spotted right there. The Archer is actually picking it off, go figure. Tower's being pushed in once again, the secondary tower here. I don't think, or are they? No, they are setting up. They might want to. We're going to see Infoner building coming out right here. No. So yeah, I mean, Tundra infesting into the puzzle box. Obviously, he does have a full level 3 puzzle box now, but it does mean its initiation is a little weaker, not having that porta key coming out here. But they do have a Bubbles who actually didn't go with the porta key either. Bubbles finishing the tablet here on Mickey. And then, of course, you have the Tempest situation. He is looking to finish that full Shrunken Head now before even the porta key going to be coming to himself. So that's, I honestly am a little, I don't know if I like that. I mean, that does go back to Tundra's decision, and even Bubbles for that matter. I mean, I feel like to follow up the Sand Wraith, especially when he jumps in, having the portal key Bubbles is pretty important to be able to get that start off, get a great Song of the Sea off on top of the kill field, of course. So I don't know. Personally, I think I would have rather seen a portal key at least on Bubbles, if not Tundra for the matter too. But I would think that their next items are very possibly going to both of them be that portal key. So eventually getting it here will be good. Obviously, the Mocker Brilliance is finished on Flensmeister. So again, I mean that's definitely a greedy build. I mean, it always is really when it comes down to it, and especially in a game where Staker's been doing a lot of sticking together, and they've been looking good as a team, pushing towers, making team fights happen. To not go something like an earlier Shrunken Head or even just an earlier Firebrand into a Shrunken, it was risky going the full Mocker Brilliance, but he does have it now, and it wasn't really the most costly in terms of his team being far behind now. In fact, they're ahead in certain places. So, you know, if that's the case, then that's where it does make the Mocker Brilliance actually pretty good, as his damage output's going to be pretty damn nice. Bubbles in the main. What just happened right there? Bubbles got pulled in. He is able to shell surf though, and he is going to be fine. Oh my God, Mickey. What an escape. He happened to shell surf right as the discharge came out from Flux. He knew that they were coming for him.
Beasts of the land, hark my call!
This guy. He knew that they were coming for them, and he is able to get away. So, beautiful escape coming out from Mickey right there. There is the full Shrunken Head finished on Tempest. Obviously, there is the root, but does have the Shrunken Head here. See top lane. Bubbles roaming around. Again, the HoN team continuing to play pretty defensive right here for the most part because Stakerin is just sticking together as a team and fully moving around the map here. And it does continue to be in Staken's favor with map control with that said. I mean, we talked about that very early on in the game. The lack of vision for that a little bit of a time window definitely hurt them, but they do have some very defensive order sites up, but it makes sense before the game's out, obviously. Keeper the Forest, he has an Arcana picked up. And I believe I saw a Quick Blade purchase by Corrupted, or maybe not. He might have sold it, actually, once more. But anyways, he does have his full Shrunken Head, as does Flux. And Flux, for that matter, actually going another Mighty Blade here. So I'd assume the Frost will go. Ooh, he misclicks the Shrunken Head, actually. At least I don't think there's any other reason for that. So that's going to be a Shrunken Head on cooldown for another 68 seconds. And that means it's down to 9 seconds now, so that's a decent deal, especially with them pushing right here. Flux is basically not going to have an item that he spent 3,900 gold on, other than just a couple of stats that come from it. So we'll see if that maybe could come into play here. As far as this top fight goes, obviously I don't think the Hellborn team saw that. They might have actually. I mean, he was farming creeps when it was up. So if dnL Esports was observant enough, they could have seen that. I mean, again, I'm not saying you shook that down on Flux, you immediately go by any means, but so it might not play an impact in the end, but it's still interesting to note. Into the top lane, pounding on the tower. This tower it is, no, not going to fall just yet. The counter push is pretty damn good here on the Hellborn side. We're constantly seeing a bit of that. Between the Shell Surf, between the Shell Surf, between the Goo, between the Piercing Shards, I mean, there's a lot of just spammable abilities that are very powerful. Counter pushing, so. Stakerin, though, they're just going to keep knocking away at it, and vulnerability coming out. You just have to push in the middle, and in the meantime for the Hellborn team. Sandwich was there assisting with that. He is starting to fall back now. He's actually going to the bottom lane. He wants to push that out. Again, he has his ultimate to come in when necessary. A little bit of lockdown there on Corrupted, but not enough for follow-up. So Sandwich is pushing at the bottom currently as long as they have the racks, as long as those aren't in danger. They feel confident enough that they can just wait this out, and that's what they're going to do. So, Stakerin will fall back now. Yet again, and look to reset things. So let's take another look at the item situation. Rally, I haven't talked too much about, but he's got, again, the portal key on top of the Soul's Bulwark here. He's been farming very well this whole game. 335 gold per minute here. As far as the Hellborn team, 2,900 gold on Tundra. So he's not going to portal key, and neither did Bubbles for that matter, actually. As, discharge used by Flux right there. I think that was more of a let's see where they're at tool, as they maybe even expected they could have been doing Kongor. That wouldn't have been out of the question. I mean, DC, again, no vision around the Kongor pit, so yeah, that's probably what it was for, to make sure. And they just weren't doing Kongor, which of course they weren't. But yeah, no portal key going to be going on Tundra here. And again, I just don't know how I feel about that. I wonder what he is going to be going for. I guess he could just be going for a straight Shrunken here even, but is that necessarily the best option? I mean, you could even argue just getting something like a Soul's Bulwark here at this point, being more just that team fight utility hero would be a good option. But I don't know. I still just like the idea of having that extra initiation to go with the Sand right there. Speaking of that, Engineer gets one. Engineer gets a portal key, so Z-Freak managing to be able to save up enough gold for a portal key himself, obviously. Doing well there. Sandwraith, is he going to port in? Nope, he ported in and bought him. And they actually get a free kill on a rally. It looks like Rally buys back immediately. Holy crap. I was like, wait a second, he just died and he's back. So one of else is good at doing that. Now, here's the thing. They know the Mirage is down. They know the Avalanche is down. So both Tundra and Sandwraith, big ultimates used right there. Sandwraith, he does have a TP, but he does not have his ultimate. But Stay Green making the investment choice right here that they are going to quick buyback of Swim Mounts, and now they're going to push. They know those are big cooldowns. Okay, so there is a portal key now in Tundra, but go figure, he doesn't have an Avalanche here. So kind of a problem when it comes down to it. Yes, we understand. Harp your call. Here we go, though. Chop in the background. There's a Flux Engine. Bubbles caught and pulled in right there. Tempest ultimate in an awkward spot. Tempest and even the magic call. There's the ultimate, but it's immediately stopped. The Rune comes out. He died anyways. Bubbles in the background trying to live. You do see Tempest buys back, but Sandwraith's going to fall. Sandwraith has a buyback. He doesn't have the ultimate, though. Bubbles going to go down. Tempest is back into the fight. They are going to be able to force Stay Green to fall back. They did get Rally and Engineer killed right there. The rest will survive. They did have to use buybacks on both Bubbles and Tempest to do so, but they ultimately will hold them off from getting the melee racks, of course. So, I mean, big picture, they didn't even come close to killing the melee racks right there, and they were pushing because they knew those ultimates were down. So, you know, as long as you're dnL Esports, having your ultimates up clearly is a big deal here. And going into future fights, if that is the case, you know, your chance of winning is definitely much more likely. So, Sandwraith also, I like the patience right there. I mean, a lot of people. In fact, I was expecting him to just snap buyback right there as he went into that fight with like 2,300 gold saved up. But he saved the buyback, figuring that his team was going to be able to hold them back in the end, and they did. They saved the melee raft from being pushed in. So, not having to use a buyback right there, that means he's now very close to finishing a Shrunken Head. In fact, he sells the Iron Shield that he had to get even a little bit closer. So. A little bit of farm here for Sandwraith, and he will have a full Shrunken Head, and huge against Engineer, against Keeper of the Force, being able to get another root, of course. Very important. So, getting that item pickup, good news. Frostburn finished on Corrupted Disciple in the meantime, so he once again is going to be going the Dawnbringer, just a different style of build-up to the Dawnbringer this time. Last time we went the Light Brand into the Frozen Light first. This time it was the Fire Brand into the Frostburn. So, we'll get the Light Brand last to finish the Dawnbringer here. Frosthost Skulls also being continued on by Limp. He's getting a little bit closer, and then the Restal Stone is still a little bit away here. In fact, Keeper of the Force, he's in trouble here in the middle lane. A lot of burst damage coming. Does it enough? No, not enough. The Astral APL, Sandwraith chasing it will be enough, but at what cost right here? Energy Field is put down. Shrunken Head from Corrupted, but Sandwraith should be able to port it. And the Puzzle Box! It kills Z-Freak. Oh, man. The Puzzle Box going to kill Z-Freak. They pick off Swinamels in the meantime on Rally. Beautiful play coming out from dnL Esports right there. That's what they're looking for. Not often this game, Stay Green has been spread out, not as a team. And one of the few rare moments this time, dnL Esports takes advantage of that. They end up getting 3 hero kills when it's all said and done. But yeah, that was the case of the Mauler actually exploding to finish off Engineer at the end right there too. It was pretty entertaining. Yeah, that's just another power of having a level 3 puzzle box. And they go right for Kongor. Buyback situation. Swinamelons and Minus both have a buyback, but they're not going to use it here. So if you're dnL, I mean, they got the Shiver to scut it out. If Flux and Corrupted are charging in, but it's just those two. Are they really falling back? Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if they're letting Stay Green scare them. Keeper of the Force and Rally aren't even remotely here yet. Keeper of the Force finally coming out. Rally's porting in as well. He's going to start. But if they were sitting here on Kongor this whole time, Kongor would be dead now. I don't know about that from dnL. I mean, they have their ultimates. I really feel like dnL's letting Stay Green scare them. That's what Stay Green was hoping for right there by just sending the Flux Corrupted, and it does do enough to scare them. So now the cooldowns are ready for both sides. Everyone's back up, and dnL, they miss out on a big Kongor chance right there. And now you see Stay Green. I mean, they're gonna even try to steal themselves, kind of, or more so trying to force dnL out, but oh, and actually they're going to try. I take cover from Bubbles right there. Beautiful tablet away as well to avoid the energy field. And here we go in the background. Tundra coming in. The lockdown onto Flux. Samurai right on top of it. Flux taking a lot of good damage right here. He is mana burned currently. He can't do anything. But the conduit's on Sandwraith. He's draining his charges like crazy. Corrupt Disciple chasing out Sandwraith. But at what cost? Tundra trying to help him. Corrupt is still chasing. Not going to be enough though. The lockdown and the Corrupt Disciple. The stunts from Travis. Sandwraith with intense screw turnaround. And down goes Corrupt Disciple to chase. The tunnel vision was just a little too weak there for Chessie, I guess you could put it. He got tunnel vision. He eventually falls. Rally in the meantime. Tempest ultimate locked in now and finally canceled by the Keeper route. It will turn around on the Tundra actually. And now Tundra in trouble. Sandwraith's going back in. Sandwraith's looking to finish our rally. He will do just that. Keeper of the Forest trying to survive. We do got Limp is still alive, but he's back at base. He's not going to be helping. He does have a discharge. It doesn't matter though. Keeper of the Forest gets cleaned up. A double tap for Flensmeister. Kongor's up, but they're not going to go for it yet. They just do not feel comfortable enough at this point, as they will fall back. So Corrupted Disciple, by the way, he buys back. He's going right for that Kongor area. They aren't doing it, though. He's going to go towards the middle lane even. Okay, yeah, he's going to go in the Kongor area, but again, they're not doing it. So this buyback going to prove to not be the most effective here in the end for Chessie. Doing it just simply because they thought they were doing the Kongor attempt. So he is going to get back to farming, but he needs to be careful not to get caught, actually. Uh-oh, they're chasing. They want this. Shell Surf in. He does not port, though. He had a kill field. They did not want to risk it. Engineer was kind of nearby, so it would have been risky. But dnL Esports, they make it work. Like I said, Chessie got really tunnel vision on Sandwraith. He was chasing him for a while there. Flensmeister did a great job of kiting him away. The conduit was up to 6 or 7 charges, I believe. So it was doing a lot right there. But also the decision from dnL Esports. They actually invested in a lot into Flux right there off the bat. I will say that the mana burns from the puzzle box means actually really screwed Flux there.
Beasts of the land,
okay.
hark my call.
They made it so he couldn't discharge at any point in that fight, which is obviously a big deal. But I do wonder if that is your ideal targeted choice here. I mean, you would think the Engineer, the Corrupt Disciple, if anything. It is a tough lineup, though. I mean, when you really look at it, this is a very bulky lineup all around. So, you know, all the target choices aren't necessarily the best, other than maybe the Engineer, you know, free kill in the background. Getting hit before an energy field is important, but it is tough. So I guess when you think of it from that perspective, you know, just go for whoever you can get at that point, and they just felt like Flux was the one that gave them the best opportunity. But, again, the big picture, they do win that fight. And the lead now 3,000 gold, 8,800 experience on top of that. Tundra, he actually buys a full Shrunken Head now. There's the portal key on Bubble, so they will have a little more initiation tool there. Some gold being pulled up on both Tempest and Sandwraith even, but I believe I just saw that. Restoration Stone finished on Keeper of the Forest, however. So Stay Green has a double route to work with now. And actually, they're going to attempt Kongor somewhat. Obviously, dnL Esports very aware of this. Not going to give up a free Kongor kill by any means. Frost of Skull still not finished here by Limp. They're right on top of Revworth. They don't know. Okay, the Warlock attacks him. Then he rolls, but it's too late. The jump board he happens. The avalanche in the background. The kill field coming out. Sandwraith, where is he throughout all this? He's sitting on top of Flux. There's that bullet, though. Shrunken Heads are up, though. Flux is so damn tricky. But there's the Tempest Ultimate. He got Keeper of the Forest. There's 1 kill. There's 2 kill. Keeper gets the root off. But it's way too damn late. Keeper of the Forest is going to fall. A hat trick coming out from Probusk. And they're going to go right for Kongor. Beautiful Tempest Ultimate this game coming out from Slapped. And he's been a huge difference maker. But how about that Water Frem as well? By the time Stay Green realized it was down, Limp turned around. By the time he did, he was already jumped. Rally off to the side in the meantime. He's trying to pick up a gun of bubbles, but to take cover. It's one of those. What a juke from Mickey. The shell set to destroyed. He stays alive. Kongor is going to fall right here. The momentum is just going through the roof here for dnL Esports. A 10,000 gold lead, a 20,000 experience lead, and a token of life is going to be on Sandwraith when it's all said and done. So they are putting themselves in a very good spot now to win game number 2 and force a game 3 against Stay Green. You got a level 20 Sandwraith, 44. No, actually just buys a Firebrand right there. So yeah, there's 23 more 100 gold saved up on top of that, though. But going to be going for that Geometer's Bane, and very good reason for that. Obviously, now having to deal with a double route. But again, speaking of that, talk about a big Tempest Ultimate right there from Zlapt. He got Keeper of the Forest in it. Keeper, he used his initial route, but he did have another one. But again, he got caught. So Very well played right there for Slav, making sure that he was going to get him. He also has another 5,300 gold, and he did that without a portal key, too. I mean, that was just, he just managed to get the positioning for that without a portal key. Pretty damn good. I say so myself. Oh, support, what are you doing? Support, what are you doing? That was just, I don't know. He was, I don't even know. I mean, he has a rev ward on him, I guess, but really? Did he just play? Okay, he did just play a side. Okay. So he did place a ward aside right there, but still, obviously very risky to just be running all the way out there to place a ward aside. I don't like the decision at all, frankly, but he is going to be dead now for another 30 seconds. I mean, it's not, again, it's not the end of the world. He does have a buyback even if worst case scenario. But Stager's trying to capitalize now for this, and if anything, this is also a point of they know that they're behind. They cannot lose another major fight and still feel confident. It is going to be a full resto stone on Tempest, by the way. Now, they haven't seen it yet, so he could surprise them right here. Granted, he doesn't have a portal key. Now, Thunder goes in. They jump flux once again. Here's a lockdown. Here comes Tempest. He has a resto stone. He is going to use it against Bonan. But that Tempest all the minute. It's canceled immediately, though. The Keeper Root come out to stop it. Will it be enough, however? Samus running around. He takes the energy field silence. They will kill Corrupted Disciple, though. Down goes Engineer. Keeper the Force in the background. GGs are being called. That's going to do it. Game number 2 goes to dnL Esports. And we are going to a game number 3 here in the Losers Bracket Finals to see who's going to play Lion Esports Club in the Grand Finals. But dnL Esports does it. They come back. I wouldn't even call it a comeback. I mean, that was just well played really throughout that whole game. Much better than the first game, and obviously I think the lineup had a lot to do with that. They had Sandwraith. He got the Mocker Brilliance. He started to take off with that. The team fight was also very well played, though, from dnL Esports. They got some big picks when they needed them. And again, Stake Green did a lot of sticking together, as they tend to do. But it just wasn't enough. They were not able to break through the hold here of dnL. So, ladies and gentlemen,